Hello everybody, welcome to part 9 of Dark Souls with Funzyr, part 19, forgot that teen. So this is my beginner's guide to Dark Souls, kind of showing you some of the tricks to get by your first time until you learn all the mechanics, trying to teach you some of the mechanics. Anyway, yesterday my play wasn't very good, and I apologize for that. I'm not sure how much better it's going to be today. I feel like I'm coming down with something, but I still want to progress through the game. I still want to be able to put out episodes. So if we have trouble with Artorias, I'll give him a couple tries, but if we have trouble with him, we're going to go down to the Great Hollow instead. And that'll be this episode. So to start, you'll notice that I have 10 soft humanity and I have some souls, even though I died at the end of the last episode. I went and I drank a bunch of caffeine, and while it was kicking in, I went ahead and I farmed some humanity. And to do that, part of what I did was I used 10 of the hard humanity to give myself 10 soft humanity. That bumps my item discovery up to 210 instead of 100. So that 10 soft humanity gives you 110 item discovery. And then of course I did equip the covetous gold serpent ring, which if you look at your status, it'll bump up your item discovery from 210 to 410. So that is your maximum possible item discovery. There are other items that give you additional item discovery, but it does not stack above 410. One of them is the symbol of avarice. So that's where we're at. Also, I was looking at the armors, and the Guardian set is just about almost as good as Havel's set, but it weighs a pound less on the gauntlets, even. So it weighs less. It does have slightly less poise, but we're at 93, so we should be okay with that. And I have enough souls to level up. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to level up our damage, because we want to be able to break Artorias' poise. Notice how that also gives us additional defense by leveling up. We're at the point right now where every point that we level up isn't necessarily going to give us additional defense. So that's nice. And now we're going to go ahead and warp to Oolacile Sanctuary. The run back's pretty quick, but I'm not going to cut it out this time. We'll just run through and I'll show you again, just in case if you missed it last time. We're going to switch to our bow because we want to break that. We want to break that right there, that ambush. Otherwise, they'll run up behind you and stab you while you're trying to get somewhere. And then just one shot, that'll bring him faster than the other ones, so you only have to deal with them one at a time. Usually. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. Alright, so we got a blood red moss clump and a blood red moss clump. Okay, good. I mainly use those for PvP. There's, I think, only one boss that does bleed effect. There's also those thieves down in Lower Undead Burg do bleed. Most other enemies do poison or toxic rather than bleed. So blood red moss clumps are more used for PvP in my opinion. Alright, we'll hit this, and that'll bring the elevator up to us. And then we can run out here. There's that guy. Alright guys, bit of luck. If we have trouble, we can also go and farm, or go get the other 2 pieces of the Guardian set. Specifically the chest is more important for us right now. We would trade that with Havel's chest. So let's go ahead and traverse the white light field. So really it's most important to be able to dodge him. Okay. Go. And he's gonna power up. So we broke his poise. We broke his poise, so that extra damage. Oh, that was bad. I rolled way too early. Powering up. Bait the attack and heal. Just a couple more hits and we got him, but don't get too cocky, or that happens. So close. I'm gonna cut this run back out, but I think we got him this time, guys. Okay guys, we're back. I took a couple of hits because I was playing sloppy on the run back, but I just want to point something out. I know I've said it before, but I'd like to prove it to you. Right now our physical defense is 310. Right here. So 310. What I want to do is I'm going to heal with the humanity. And now if we look at our status, it's 311. It's not a huge jump, but that means that each point of humanity does make a difference for us. Alright, I just wanted to point that out, and then I'll show you when we get our stuff back and if we beat Artorias. Let's go get our stuff back. That hits twice. Heal up. Let's back away and regenerate our stamina. Oh, I'm not doing very well with the whole hitting him thing. There we go. So we don't want to actually trade hits with him if we can help it. Careful, he can do that 3 times in a row. Uh-oh. We're done for if we get hit. Just have to play defensively now. Keep moving around. Oh, we got that drink just in time. Dodge. Alright. Just sneak in and attack when you can, but mostly just play defensively. Okay, he's now powered down. He's back down to his normal power. So we'll continue to play defensively because that's been working. Oh, we almost got it. Defensively, stay back. The danger for that is more that it knocks, it'll stagger you. That's our last flask. And now we're in trouble. Uh-oh. Okay. Uh-oh. We've almost got him. Stay defensive. We got him, guys. Second try today. We're still not quite playing as well as I want to, but all's well that ends well, huh? Alright, good job. So now we used all those humanities. Let's look at our defense. It went from 310 at 0 humanity to 344. So every humanity doesn't give you a point. The first few do, and then after that. Now we have enough souls, we should be able to level up twice. Let's go ahead and light this bonfire and rest. Let's level up our dex. Good. Once we get to 40 dex, we will start to level up our vitality some more. I find that I do better if I play more aggressively, thereby doing more damage. This is Oolacile Township. It's It's not too bad once you learn it. But when you get down here at the bottom of the steps, there's this guy just waiting for you. Okay, he will attack you. Ooh, a bloated head. Let me show you. It has pretty good defensive stats, but it can't be upgraded. It has no special effects or anything. So we're gonna stick with the Mask of the Child for now. There's 4 of them. What we're gonna do is we're going to try to pull just a couple of them. Because they can be tough when you have to deal with them. These guys drop the large titanite shards. There's a large soul of a proud knight. And then they are backstabbable. Sometimes it can be difficult to figure out which way they're facing because of the way that their heads are. Alright. So the next part down here can get a little bit tricky. So what I would recommend is run around the corner and then run back. That caster down there can basically just about one-shot you. So what we'll do is we'll pull him so there's just the caster to deal with. Now we've watched the caster, and what he's going to do is fire a couple, and then he actually reset for us. He doesn't have many hit points, but he actually will do decent damage. That guy's waiting around the corner to jump you. If you're alive, Marvelous Chester will invade in this area. He'll appear right here, actually. But not until you run down these steps. We are not currently in human form, so we don't have to worry about him. He's a little bit tough of a PvP fight, or a little bit tough of a fight. So we don't want to fight him right now as a beginner. Come over here. This is actually a mimic. They tricked us a little bit, played a little trick on us, because if you look at the chain, it's actually buried in there. So that's a trick. That one actually got me my first time. These carvings are always fun. You can use them as an item. They don't ever wear out.
Very good.
When you drop it, it says very good.
Very good.
In the voice of Goff. Alright, let's go back up here. There are a couple of other things that I want to show you guys up here. So we go around. This is where Marvelous Chester invades. We go around here to this side. Now, if we want, we can jump down there to that item, but there's another way to get there without jumping. You gotta bear with me here. This is only the second time I've ever been through this area, so I'm actually relearning it as I go through. It's been months since I've played this, so I apologize ahead of time. As you can see, we can't really go anywhere else from here. But we can roll over here. And we can go around the corner this way. And we're playing offline, so this is actually, it's actually left there by the developer. I feel like I hear somebody. Alright. Obviously they can't hit us. What we're going to do is we're going to equip the skull lantern in our shield position, and then hold down L1 and it lights that up. And then we'll switch back to our grass crest shield. When you run into a place, always look for enemies first. And you can tell by the chain that this chest is safe. The silver pendant is the most important item to get when we're in Oolacile Township. What it does is it protects us. Got my shield up just in time. What it does is it protects us from the last boss of the area, from his magic. So we can head down here if we want. Let's get up here where we're protected and heal. Out here there's not really anything. Just showing you while we hide. Alright, so we got him. We can run out here, but as you can see, there's really nothing out here. There's one treasure chest left, and it's a safe one again. Dark orb. I'll show you that real quick. It's a sorcery, but it's an abyss sorcery, so abyss sorceries have special properties where they can, unlike regular sorceries, they have better poise break. Alright, let's head back up. Over there is where we started. So we're going to run over here and grab this item. And I believe we're done with this area, and then we can head back down. Yeah, we're done. So we're just going to roll and make that. And head back up. We can kind of preview the area. There's a lot of stuff here. So we'll probably go through the township and then call it for this episode. We're all cleared out up here. We're gonna have a couple of fights coming up, so if we need to, we can back up to here. Keep your shield up when you don't know what's coming up. Arrows, because this guy is right around the corner. And that guy is waiting to get us. You saw how much stamina that took from us. That is the poise break that I was talking about. We just got a catalyst. We'll just look at it real quick. There it is. So if you use it as a weapon, which would be the L2 or R2, depending on which hand you have it equipped in, it will scale with magic. But really, it's more for this. It boosts sorcery adjustment, but Lost Land sorceries are not effective, and attacks are not boosted by intelligence. So that's interesting. I might have to try that out on my caster. I have to farm one of those and try it out. But for now, there's always one of these guys hiding around the corner. So I got that one that was hiding there behind the wall. With a weapon that's long like this one, you can clip through it, and it's not too bad. There's an item there. It's actually kind of a trap. Because we'll run around here. And you see that one with the glowing face? He was waiting to jump down on us. Yay, rubbish. So we can, if we can angle it just right, we can get this guy while he's over here. Another thing we can do is that treasure chest. It's actually a mimic. And he can't get to us. You can see there are a lot of the red-eyed guys down here. These are what I believe to be the citizens of Oolacile. So we're going to try to pull them out just one or two at a time, so that we don't have to deal with all of them. If you look down below us, you can see two of them waiting there. And I was too busy talking about that. So we're gonna pull these guys, like I said, one at a time. Just like in Zombieland, don't be a hero. Another thing is, up here you can just see the bottom of them. There's a caster. One of the worst things you can do is be fighting 6 of these guys and a caster that you can't even reach. Sorry about that. There we go. On my Dark Souls 2 character that I'm playing, my bow is actually in my left hand. Another shard for us. top ourselves off. Now all we have to deal with right now is the caster. And if we can get him in the head, we'll actually be able to... If we can get him at all... That's weird. Alright, so let's get the chain. You can actually cut the chain. Alright, that guy did some damage to us. So what we'll do is we will run... Top ourselves off. This is what I use the humanity for, healing. Shields up. That guy was just waiting to jump on us. If we look around, you know, this is, we came up these steps. There's obviously something over there. You can see that fireplace there, and that's actually what we can see from up here through the windows. So obviously we're going to get there at some point. But let's continue along this path. As you can see, we can jump down there. Or we can come over here and jump into that room. I need to pause a moment and use the bathroom, so I'll be right back. I will cut this waiting out. Okay, I apologize for that. Hey, if anybody knows, could you let me know how 1 can of an energy drink turns into a gallon of pee? Thanks. So we jump into here, and this crest key is where the where that mimic was. If we go over here, this is where the one Oolacile Township person citizen just tried to jump on us. There's a ladder here. Out here, if we want, we can jump down. But we don't want to. That is an alternate path, but one that I generally don't use. And there we go. That is the guy that was giving us trouble below when we were down there. There was one item down here that we forgot to get. It's out there. Wrong doorway, sorry. Anyway, if you went the other way and jumped down from above there, you just would have ended up getting to where we were just at, because that's the next step to go through the level. Alright. So, coming out here, looks like a building fell over and we're actually walking on the side of it. And here is a shortcut for us. And if we ride it up, it brings us all the way back to the top here to that bonfire that we were just at. Careful you don't fall off the edges of those. Now we can see ahead of us quite a few of those guys. Quite a few of the Oolacile Township citizens. What we're going to do is try to pull them one at a time. Now, what most people wouldn't necessarily know... Hey, that was a caster. What most people wouldn't know is that there's actually an ambush. Let's go ahead and cure our poison. There's actually an ambush around the corner there. I am not aiming very well today. Another large shard. So we've actually got quite a few large shards and chunks. We've got 69 green titanite shards. I'll show you what we can do with that later. 14 twinkling titanite, 4 demon titanite, dragon scales. Alright, so we're kind of set on that stuff. So 2 shots to the head and that guy is dead. You can see there's one guy. And there's the next guy. So you can just see them hiding around the corner waiting for you. Those 2 guys by themselves aren't bad, but you get those 2 plus the other one plus the 2 casters, and you've got some trouble on your hands. There's only 1 item in this area to pick up though that's laying there. 2 green shards. Now this guy here he's a tougher one to kill. What you're going to want to do is keep him targeted and then shield and circle. He's very much like the boar. As you can see, when I two-hand my weapon, I can do 3 times the damage and I get through his armor. Alright, that's enough of that. Oh no. Alright, we're gonna run back from the Oolacile Township fire. That won't take too long, but I am gonna cut out the run back real quick. Okay everybody, here we are. Time for round 2. Bait the attack. Back up. Bait the attack. Attack. As you can see, he spins that thing and it definitely gives him a further range. Bait the attack. Shield up. And vengeance is ours. This guy can drop the chain set. So if you ended up killing the first merchant in the Undead Burg, you can kill him. You can kill this guy to get the chain set if you want to farm it. At this point in the game, though, you probably don't need it. So let's go to this elevator. One thing to note is the first time that you call this elevator, there is an Oolacile citizen. So just be wary of that the first time. And then we can head down here, and we're actually at the next bonfire, which is a perfect time for us to call it for now. We're getting close to the end of this playthrough, so thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for joining me, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.